Hello, this is Claude White, and this is the Pittsburgh Steelers Report for Week 11, 2018. And the Pittsburgh Steelers will be playing the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville. I will not call it a revenge game because it is not a playoff game. But they will exact a little bit of revenge, I do feel, this week. When they do go up against the Jaguars, that has to be fresh on their minds. That playoff loss, and it was a terrible loss, giving up 45 points to that Jacksonville Jaguar offense led by Blake Bortles. The Steelers will not take that lightly. They know that Bortles is not a great quarterback, but he does have a strong enough arm to throw it down the field. That he did challenge them. Now, the Steelers secondary this year is not the Steelers secondary of last year. There's not Mike Mitchell this time to blow coverages. Mike Mitchell was god-awful, and he talked a lot of trash. And speaking of talking a lot of trash, Jalen Ramsey talked a lot of trash at the beginning of the season. If you remember, he said that Ben Roethlisberger wasn't any good. Hey, you've seen the last 3 weeks how good and efficient Ben has played. It has been a big reason why the Steelers have won 4 or 5 in a row. He has not put the ball in harm's way for the most part. And, hey, listen, you saw how he was last week. 5 touchdowns, 328 yards. He was scary efficient last week. He couldn't have played any better than he played last week against the Carolina Panthers. And the Carolina Panthers are a much better team than the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the Jaguar secondary is getting healthy. A.J. Bouye is playing. I believe there's a couple of other guys that will be playing as well in that secondary. They have been hurt a lot, and that also has kept teams from having to go after Jalen Ramsey. Now, Ramsey, I think, is going to have a lot of problems. If he matches up with Antonio Brown, he's going to get torched. Now, Ramsey is a very physical corner, but to be fair, Antonio Brown eats up those big physical guys for breakfast. He's one of those guys. When it comes to hand fighting, Antonio Brown is among the very best in the NFL. And I'm telling you, Juju Smith-Schuster is a number 1 top flight receiver in this league. The Steelers have actually a 1 and a 1A, and it is very, very similar to what the Steelers had in the 70s when you had Swan and Stallworth on the outside. Now, the difference is the Steeler tight ends are better this year. Jesse James and Vance McDonald are the best pair of tight ends in the entire NFL. Yes, I said it. Now, I didn't say that they were the... Now, Rob Gronkowski and Travis Kelce are better, but I'm talking about a tandem, like the 2 tight end set. There is nobody better than the Pittsburgh Steelers with a 2 tight end set as of this juncture. Now, James Conner, as you see, has run the football extremely well. I told you that Le'Veon Bell would not play another game for the Steelers, and as you can see, Le'Veon Bell will not be able to play a down of football in 2018. In effect, his Steeler career is over. Now, Stephen Ridley is going to back up Mr. James Conner. Also, Samuels will see a bit of time, but I expect James to tote the rock at least 25 times in this football game. And trust me, he's going to need to do that if the Jacksonville Jaguars decide to play. Now, this Jaguar team might have quit on Doug Marrone. It is terrible to see how far they have fallen from last season, especially on the defensive end. You don't expect much from Jacksonville on the offensive side of football outside of Leonard Fournette. And to be honest, Leonard Fournette has underachieved. He hasn't been able to stay on the field. He's been pretty good when he's been on the field, but I expected a lot more from Leonard Fournette this season. Now, Blake Bortles has actually regressed. He's never been great, but he was serviceable at times last season. He actually played pretty decent in the playoffs for the most part. But this year, he has markedly regressed. He is terrible. Now, I do expect the Steelers to miss Stephon Tuitt a little bit, but they do have a very good rotation of defensive linemen. The linebackers have woken up. I mean, you see how well Bud Dupree has played. T.J. Watt has played exceptionally well. But the biggest improvement ever since Cody Sensabaugh has come in for the young man from Miami, I can't even, you know what? He's been so bad, Artie Burns, I almost damn near forgot his name. And Artie Burns has been on the long end of bench for the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers secondary has been tremendous. When you have a guy like Joe Hayden healthy, he stabilizes that entire unit. Morgan Burnett has been very good at the free safety position. And you know what? Terrell Edmonds has played exceptionally well over the last 3 to 4 weeks as well. I expect the Steelers to have a big game against the Jaguars. That playoff game is still fresh on their minds. And you know what? As great as Le'Veon Bell is and was, I think James Conner fits the bill for the Steelers a lot better. He is now Bell is a glider and he can be physical. James Conner is just a straight, pure physical runner and fits the Steeler mold of running back. I expect the Steelers to play very well. I expect them to win 31-17 over the Jacksonville Jaguars. And there you have it. This was the Pittsburgh Steelers Report. My name is Claude White, ladies and gentlemen. Please like and subscribe. Take care, and God bless.